And so talk to us about the big question that you've been working on,
Okay.
that we called you here to discuss.
Definitely. Okay. So coming here...
Time's up.
Coming here, one of the things I said to my wife is I want to reset my operating system. So in past hot seats, I've been able to get a lot of information and put that into play and had success at that, and I'm happy with that. Now I'm taking new steps in a lot of the stuff you just talked about.
We all are. We're really fine-tuning this, aren't we?
Yeah. And so for me, I've been inspired by, and now I've been efforting in the last 5 days, I've been just letting the reset happen, so not thinking on business ideas.
What do you mean by reset?
So a lot of the stuff that you talked about, to put it into words, is challenging at the moment.
Satisfaction?
Yeah.
What do you mean by resetting your operating system?
Well, kind of like here, I've been playing around while I've been on planet Earth, and we all do these abilities, and I know them, and I've seen them in the real world happen. And then I get sometimes scared of like, ooh, pretty powerful with that. I want to keep a little bit quiet because I don't want to be called on all the time. I don't want to be what I can do. Sometimes I like to just sit in the back and not be seen or heard, kind of like in school. But now I want to shine my light more, but in a way that I want to shine it, and I feel comfortable with that now. Where in the past I didn't, because it was like if it starts going too fast, I'll spin out of control. Well,
we're talking about the same thing here that we were talking about just before. And that is that when you acknowledge that your set point, or maybe what you're calling your operating system, which is today what we are wanting to call your mix or blend of thoughts, therefore vibrations, is what sets everything into motion. It's not the action or the fanfare or the hey, look at me. There's so many people believe that it is. If you're talking about being consciously aware of your point of attraction, then you've come to the most valuable for you or anyone state of awareness about what you want to do. In other words, I want to have some deliberate control about my point of attraction. And then I want to consciously witness the results of that deliberate offering as I notice the absolute association between what I've deliberately been projecting, that I have strong feeling about, and what's manifesting.
Mm-hmm. Wow. Yep.
Did we simplify it too much?
No, this is great. So, okay, I'm gonna then hit it right on the head here.
Yes.
Not take any time.
Yes.
So basically, when I was on the hot seat years ago, I was interested in having my own business, and you said you can either get into a business with someone that's already got a momentum going, or you can start from scratch and try to build something up. And I took that and wonderfully placed it in, meditated on it, and then a business that was already in motion came into my existence, and I was asked to start walking with it, did that, brought it to a certain place.
And our advice was good. Because at that time the resistance within you about starting your own business was going to make it harder than it needed to be, where the other momentum was already underway. And so now?
So now I want to take everything that I love in play, whatever that is for me, and then put it also into the work experience, if it's for also employees, for customers, and everyone else that's involved with it.
Yes.
And then I can have even more joy every day, and instead of being in the pursuit of happiness, be in the pursuit of joy, the things that satisfy me, maybe better said in these moments.
What's different in your vibration now as compared to then?
Is before I didn't have a way, and I was trying to search for a way, like what business is it, and how much is it gonna, bring in, and how do I introduce that or sell that?
So enough vibrations have turned into tangible realities that now you just have more confidence?
Yeah, because I've seen it work. Correlation, then I can say, okay, if I feel this, then I can create that. And
so our question to you is, do you really feel that change? In other words, we want you to isolate what you know that we were sort of guiding you about then. Can you feel that you are different now relative to that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so?
So I don't want to push too much. I know that doesn't help. And
gets in the way.
Yeah, totally. So I wrote down, thankfully, basically what I love. So when I say game of business, I'm a big sports guy. I've talked about it a lot of times when I'm on here. So I love the way sports are built. So there's a start and a finish. There's a first and last place. There's a winner. There's a championship team. There's a league, a collective, a following. There's competition, but also camaraderie. So I love that. I love it. I absolutely love it. But before I wouldn't really admit
But
that.
all that is a structure in which you can focus. And so it's focus that you love. Run through that again, and we'll show you the parts of it that you don't love so much.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Start and a finish.
There's no such thing. There's only now.
Okay. I mean, like the start of the game and the end of the game, 60 minutes, San Antonio Spurs.
We know. That's why you came into this time-space reality, is because the time and the space does evoke focus, and focus is required. But that's as far as we would go with that.
Okay. Okay. Next.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. First and last place.
Well, there. How do you feel about that?
I like competition. I like when something's drawn from you that there's others playing with you, first stepping it maybe, and then...
You live in a time and space that is full of variety. But you know how we were talking the other day about humans, dear hearts, taking situations of life and sorting them into piles of right and wrong, first and last, things like that, and how we just want to mix all the piles up and call them into two piles under the influence of source or under the influence of something else. So how about, rather than first and last, those who use the leverage of alignment and those who don't?
Mm-hmm.
Me, in the moment of using the leverage of my alignment, which gives me stamina, clarity, flexibility, invigoration, clarity, stamina, focus, clarity.
So I love statistics in sports, you know,
Yeah.
top scorer and so on. And I love the thought of having a group of people in a company as a team and then multiple teams. So say there's
We do too,
Okay.
but you know what?
Okay.
The statistics that count most are who's in alignment with source and who isn't, because everything else is just a mediocre game where most of the players in most of the sports are. It's only those handful of masters that stick out who care about that, who are consistently there, whose game is almost always on.
And that's why I want that, because I love being in a place where that is happening and then that you can do that with others. So I'm really wanting to create a company.
So read through your thing again.
Okay.
So I come to the point that we were just on.
Okay, so there was first and last place.
First and last place, and here's why. That's all we're asking you to integrate into that. First and last place, and here's why. Or mastery and everything else, and here's why. Or the mundaneness of most of the sports, even the major leagues in all of them. Mundane, 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 mundane. Few stand out.
So is that
And then they just take what comes as if they have no choice. And they do.
So I really want to create a place, like an organization, like a sports organization, but an organization in business where people enjoy their job. So they actually come, like you've got hordes of people watching sports and they're disappointed when their team loses, but when their team wins, they feel this, this feeling of connection to their city, for instance.
Wouldn't it be fun to be a group of people watching something and know right away, by the way it feels, who's going to win? It's knowable.
Yeah, totally. That's why it's easy to bet if you've got a feel
It's
for
knowable.
Yeah. But I'm trying to create fun from a thing that I've found that is a lot of fun for me, that I'm very interested in. So I'm trying to create...
You're going to let them play with the odds, or you're going to teach them about source and knowing?
Yeah, for sure. In the culture of the company, because it's a small company, then it can grow from that. And that's what also excites me, because it brings kind of everything that I'm interested in to kind of one forum or center. And if people don't like it, that's okay. If they don't like competition even, that's totally okay. There's a lot of people who don't, for different reasons. But if they...
Oh, the winners always like it.
Yeah. Yeah.
First place likes competition.
So
Last place, not
Yeah.
so much.
But that gives them an asking, and then, yeah. And then if you're working on that in the culture, then, yeah.
Yeah. You
So would
sound
you-
like us.
So would you suggest it, though, that I go in this direction with this business? This is
Absolutely.
really... Ah, cool. So I'm on to a good feeling, and I feel it, and I don't need to ask anybody.
There you go.
Thank you.
There you go.
Thank you so much.
That's exactly right.
Thank you. Oh, I feel so satisfied right now. Ever since I've been aware of your teachings about 2.5 years ago, there's been this shift, this awareness, this joyful, happy.
Blending with who I really am.
Yes, and it feels so good.
Yeah.
The question I have is, how can we become more aware of beliefs that doesn't serve us?
By continuing to explore variety and launching new desires that challenge beliefs. It's the birthing of a desire that is going to take you into more, that challenges beliefs that don't serve you. And really, we'd like to say that the only beliefs that don't serve you are those that hold you back from your motion forward. So it's by accepting, as you do, that you're an expanding being, an expansive being, and it has to be that. And by noticing how much fun new is, by noticing how much you love to chew on a new idea, by noticing the difference in the momentum, by getting hold of a satisfying thought and then playing with it and allowing it to evolve and gather momentum while you recognize the increase in the emotions that you feel, going from satisfied right into really satisfied, right into ecstasy, even a feeling of invincibility about it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
You following that? Make sense to everyone?
Yeah, I can see, because this past February, I got a huge promotion. Huge. In April, I got married, and I'm on my honeymoon cruise. And I've come to realize just how powerful of a creator I am.
And with all of that, you can feel it, can't you? But with all of it, continue to acknowledge, and there is more. Because there's a tendency to want to soothe those around you by feeling complete. And you never want to admit that. You're not ever complete. This magnificent relationship will expand into more and more and more and more and more. The combining of the two of you explodes into things that neither one of you even knew that you are, you see. Yeah. Really good.
Thank you.
Enough?
That's all I have. Yes.